There we go.
Is it actually possible a rifle straight out of a FUD lore fantasy could be the next 30-30 lever action for hunting deer? Probably not, but maybe. Before we get into the details, make sure you support the video if you enjoyed today's content. You could go into the comment section and say literally anything you want, or you could go ahead and hit that like button. Additionally, if you want a go-to upper receiver, head over to my website, link in my bio. It turns out quality can be bought for a reasonable price. If you are looking for a lifetime upper that will last thousands of rounds, a high quality controlled, precisely assembled upper is what you need. There are 4 major reasons why I believe the Ruger American Ranch in 300 Blackout is the new whitetail king. But before we get into the main arguments, I believe some context is justified. I have hunted whitetail for 12 years. More often than not, I shoot 1 deer per year. Additionally, I field dress and butcher my deer. I am by no means an expert in everything related to whitetails, but I do enjoy hunting them and I have tremendous respect for whitetail deer. Next, let's go over some of the features and random points that I thought were important.
So this is my hunting rifle, mainly because of how quiet it is. I don't like wearing ear protection as I'm hunting because I can hear things better. So I wanted to get something that has a closed action, which this is obviously a bolt action rifle. You can operate the bolt and there is no mechanical action as you fire like an AR-15 or other such platforms. Being a closed action, it allows this rifle to be very quiet with the suppressor and subsonic ammunition. 300 Blackout is not anywhere close to a bigger cartridge like 30-06. That's what I used to use. With 30-06, there's no doubt if you hit it in a good place, the animal is going down. With this rifle, 300 Blackout, if you make a good hit, the animal is done. But if you make a lung shot hit, it's going to take a little bit of time for that deer to bleed out. So there is pros and cons to this platform, but as you can see on my property, I'm only dealing with 50-yard shots most of the time, so this thing is more than adequate. And another detail is using supersonic ammunition in this closed action with the suppressor. Is it hearing safe? Maybe, maybe not, but it's pretty close. It's much better than shooting this thing unsuppressed. That is very loud. And at the end of the day, protecting my ears is very important to me, so this platform accomplishes that goal and giving me a little bit better hearing protection. And it is very effective, it's very accurate. It is a good whitetail hunting rifle for, I would say, 100 yards and in. More than 100 yards, you're going to be dealing with a little bit of drop, which is not the end of the world, but it makes it a little bit harder. But I would say within 100 yards, this thing is a nail driver, and it is a very effective hunting rifle. So there's a few upgrades I've done here. So when you get the rifle, it ships with Magpul mags. I bought these 10-round Lancers, 300 Blackouts, just to make sure there's no feeding issues. And then off Amazon, I don't know what brand this is, but this is a attachable ring that goes over the mount already, and then it allows you to mount your sling because it has another one on there, and then it has Picatinny for a bipod. If I ever shoot, I don't usually shoot this with a bipod, but if I ever do, I have a quick detach mount and I can throw it on there real quick. And then I also got this cheek riser. It doesn't give me a lot of space, but just that little bit helps give me stability at range. But overall, this is an awesome rifle. It is an awesome hunting rifle, and it is the quietest rifle I own besides my 22s. This rifle is stupid quiet, as you can hear in the footage, hopefully. If you're looking for a budget hunting rifle or something, if you have a suppressor, like a 30 cal suppressor, and you're looking for something super fun that's budget, I would recommend the Ruger American Ranch. This is the Gen 1 version, and I have no qualms with it, besides the fact that there's a few things that are a little annoying, right? It's nice that they have AR-15 magazines, that's awesome, but I think they made the new generation has a little bit of a cheek riser. This is very low, because most people are going to throw a similar optic setup, I would imagine, as this, and it's just, you want a little bit of a cheek riser to get you up there. Talking about the barrel, it is a taper profile, so you start thick at the chamber, and then as you work your way out, it goes thinner, and it does a very good job, and I think it's a good profile for this type of a setup. And I definitely recommend the Dead Air Nomad 30. That is a great 30 caliber suppressor. Primary arms optics are good, especially for this budget build. This SLX mates very well with this bolt action rifle. Oh, we haven't talked about the trigger yet. I haven't adjusted it. You can adjust these triggers. This trigger is insanely crisp. So you can see your trigger safety, and then once you hit I believe it's a 2-stage. So you hit the first wall, and then you get a little bit of creep, and then you hit the second wall and it breaks. And it's very tactile. It's super crisp. It is an excellent trigger. No complaints with the trigger, and it's so good I haven't even tried to adjust it down. 4 or 5 pounds with a very clean brake like that is all you need. Okay, so at the tip here for the muzzle device, we have a Dead Air brake, and this does an excellent job at being a suppressor mount, and it doesn't carbon lock. That's what I like about this brake style. It is a little bit loud, and it reduces recoil a little bit perhaps, but the best thing it does is it is a good suppressor mount, and it never gets carbon locked, not like it would because you don't put a lot of rounds through bolt actions, but it does not get carbon locked like their flash hider mounts. And it is a very good muzzle device, especially for this rifle. The aesthetics on this rifle are on point. I mean, I think it looks great, especially for a budget rifle. It's just, it does the job, man, you know what I'm saying? This rifle I have set in with supersonic ammo at 50 yards just because most of the time that's the engagement distance I have with this gun for deer is about 50 yards, and I'm using supersonic ammo. So that is the ultimate zero for this thing. With subsonic ammunition, you have to know your holds. It's a little bit low, I believe, with subsonic ammunition at 50 yards, and then as soon as you move up to 100 with subsonic, it is extremely low. So knowing your holds is very important with a rifle like this, going from subsonic to supersonic ammunition. But yet again, it is very effective and it is very accurate.
Let's go over the accuracy of this specific rifle in my unique case scenario. First up, Hornady's 190 grain sub X at 50 yards comes out to about an inch group. Next, we have my current hunting load, the 150 grain Federal Fusion grouping at 0.97 of an inch at 50 yards. Finally, my next hunting load, the Winchester Deer Season 150 grain grouping at 0.48 of an inch at 50 yards. Obviously, this gun favors this load. This is why you test different types of ammo before you buy a bulk load of ammo. Alright, now that we've gone over the rifle's features and taken a look at accuracy, let's go into the meat and potatoes. There are 4 major reasons why the Ruger American Ranch and 300 Blackout is the perfect whitetail hunting rifle for me. First, accuracy. A 1 to 2 inch group at 100 yards is well under the size of a deer heart. Therefore, accuracy of this rifle meets the needs for my specific use. Next up, signature, specifically noise. The best way to hunt is having your ear open with no sound impairments in the way. This allows for optimal hearing. This also allows your ear to be susceptible for hearing loss due to a gunshot. It turns out supersonic 150 grain 300 Blackout and a closed action with a suppressor mostly cancels out the chance for hearing loss. Additionally, the closed action being hearing safe is the main reason I didn't choose a accuracy inspired AR-15 chambered in 300 Blackout. Moving on, ballistic performance. 150 grain 300 Blackout has great penetration on whitetail deer. Worst case scenario, if you had to shoot through a shoulder to hit the heart, 300 Blackout has enough penetration to do so. Additionally, with heavy 150 grain bullets, deflection from a branch or a leaf is somewhat unlikely. Lastly, feels. This rifle is relatively lightweight. The 16-inch barrel, the 1:8 LPVO, and the Palmer stock all play into this rifle being lightweight. Overall, this somewhat budget bolt-action Fuddlore rifle is the perfect match for my whitetail hunts. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of my hunting rifle and what rifle you guys are using for your hunts. Thank you for watching.